All right, no tension.
Welcome to my world. We're going to talk mainly about military vehicles, solar power, and self-sufficiency. But I also like to live life to its fullest potential. I do this through music. Specifically, I'm a drummer. Music runs through my veins, and I'm also going to discuss the various equipment I use and throw in a few covers. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to the channel.
Hey YouTube, Vermont Prepper. I'm working on my M1028 winch today, getting it ready to install a synthetic line instead of the steel cable that I have. And this is on the Australian Sherpa Stallion winch. It's a 24 volt because I have a 24 volt system in there. And the reason why I'm doing this is because last year, if you follow the channel, you remember that my winch broke when I was recovering myself in a major snowstorm on a 20% grade. And the reason why it broke is that the cable bunched up over here along the cross members, and it pushed up the cross members, and it actually broke the alloy right here. So I had to replace these two ears right here. And Sherpa was great. They're a great company to deal with, even though they're in Australia. Very good support. So they sent them over pretty quickly, and they're relatively cheap and easy to replace. So no big deal there, but I didn't want that to happen again. And I believe the reason is because that steel cable bunches up and it doesn't provide enough clearance for the cross members right here. It's about 90 foot. And you know, as it rolls up, and keep in mind when you're recovering, you can't roll it up really nice like this, you know, where it's supposed to go back and forth and roll up in a very orderly fashion. It's just not realistic when you're in those kind of conditions. So inevitably you're going to get some areas that are higher than others, and the area that was higher was like right around here, and it just pushed up against it and it just broke off. So I think the synthetic line will not be susceptible to bunching up or kinking in that fashion. So I had some kinks in the line as well, so it's a steel cable, and I think that was creating a lot of stress on the cross members, and I don't want to break those cross members again. So I'm getting ready to do the synthetic line. That's the reasoning. And it's real easy to uninstall and install a line in this winch. Basically, you have your fitting that gets screwed into the winch pulley right here, and it's a machine head screw. So very easy to connect, and then all I do is just roll it up again. And I ordered a line off of Amazon, a 25,000 pound line, really good reviews, for $77. So it was a deal. I may even get an extra eventually, because obviously the synthetic lines, they don't last as long as the steel, but they are not prone to rust, so it's a good thing, especially in the Vermont winter. And for the amount of times I use the winch, it'll probably last a while anyway. I don't really use it very much unless I'm either helping somebody in a winter or helping myself out. Basically, I used it 2 or 3 times last winter, and you know, that's the only times that I've used it since I've had it, actually. So very few and far between the times that I actually use this winch, but it's nice to have when you need it. So I decided to do the Blazer first. I have it hooked up to the trailer to give it a little extra weight to keep the line tight. And you want to do this uphill when you wrap up the line, because you want it as tight as possible. So I have it hooked up. You know, we have our blanket there because, you know, safety first. We have it hooked up to the M1028 here on the front shackle. and M1028 will get its winch cable later. But for now, we're going to get the blazer. See how nice and tight it is. It's a 92-foot line. The cable was probably another 50 foot, but if we used that, it was going to totally bunch up. I mean, it was wrapped tight already. And I could tell you that if it's used and you're trying to recover yourself, it's going to bunch up just like it did on my 1028. So this will have plenty of room. So if you're ever going to buy a Sherpa winch, I recommend you spend the extra money and get the braided line instead, synthetic, because of the way it's designed. Alright, there's the blazer. Nice and rolled up, nice and neat. I forgot to mention it's 25,000 pound braking strength, and the winch I mentioned before is 17,000 pounds, so it's more than enough. I also have the Epic hook on there, the Warren Epic hook, and I think that's rated to about 16,000 pounds. I'm not sure when I'll ever need that much, but you never know. It's nice that you have it. So let's get the M1028 then. Okay, so we're doing an M1028 right here. Alright everybody, I'm literally finishing this a year later, this video, replacing the winch cable. I'm putting synthetic cable on there so that it doesn't bunch up like the steel cable did. If you remember, the steel cable bunched up and actually broke this off. It just didn't, it was just too much cable for it. But this winch cable, the synthetic rope, is 100 foot and it's rated to 30,000 pounds. So it's plenty strong enough for this 25,000 pounder. And basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to start the truck up, put it in neutral, and start rolling it up. One last thing before I do that, I tried this twice actually, and the second time the motor blew out. And the reason motor blew out is because this didn't have a seal in it and it got all rusted in there, the end cap. And the guys at Sherpa are really good. They just sent me a whole new motor. So I got the motor in, and then I sent the truck away to get turboed. And it's been away for 6 months. So here we are in the summertime in Vermont, getting eaten up by mosquitoes, but we'll get going. First part, you don't want any stress. The red line means that it's kind of the leader line, and you don't want to pull the truck or anything else if you see red, because what will happen is you'll pull the winch cable right out. Now you see the green there. All right, now we're under stress right now. So I'm gonna go get my blanket and put it over it so it doesn't come back snapping at me. All right, you can see the blanket there. Safety first, everybody. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll it up a little bit, get it straightened out, and make sure it rolls up nice and tight and in order. And the reason why I have the truck running is, of course, I don't want the battery to drain. I'm actually pushing toward the right because the truck is kind of on a slant to the left. Kind of hard doing it by yourself. I'm gonna go turn the tires a little bit. All right, you see I'm getting there. I moved the blanket a little bit. Well, I think that's mostly tight enough. I'll probably take some stress off and then do the rest by hand because I got plenty of room. You see, look at the gap right there. So this cable is going to do exactly what I want. Let me release everything and I'll finish it up. All right, no tension. Look at that, folded right up for me. All right, so I know some of you are going to say, well, that's not really the best roll-up job, but here's my logic behind that. When you are out by yourself, you're never going to roll it up perfectly. So you're going to pull somebody out or pull yourself out, and inevitably it's going to be, 0 degrees, 20 degrees, whatever. And you're not going to have the time, nor are you going to want to roll this thing up perfectly. As long as it doesn't hit the top here, which it's not. I got plenty of room on both sides. I got 2 fingers worth, about an inch. I got plenty of space, and that's why I did a synthetic line. They're lighter as well. So in any event, that's what we got, and I hope you got something out of it. I'm glad this thing is finally back in. It's been a long time, and I'll give you guys a peek of the turbo. I'm going to do a full walk around on that. This thing got some serious power.